QTube, what's going on in this dose? We're going to be reacting to a black woman deliberately violating and disrespecting a black man on a dating show because of his job. But before we react to it, like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and share my content with your family, friends, colleagues, and peers so that they can ingest the Q pill as well. Let's get a dose of this shit. Everybody loves getting upset with me when I point out the reality that black women are the least desired group of women due to their attitude. And they will say, oh, it's just a stereotype, it's not true, it's a fallacy, it's a misconception. Yet I can think of an innumerable amount of examples that highlight this reality. And yet again, here we are in this video as this dating show on TikTok where they pop balloons if they don't like the person that they're presented with still supports the idea that black women have this phantom attitude that they claim not to have. So let's take a look at this clip of this dating show of this man walking in and telling these women who he is and what he does. And let's look at the visceral reactions he immediately gets from black women and how even one black woman proceeds to disrespect him in the most disgusting way possible.
Hello, welcome in. All right.
My name is Terrence. I'm from Alabama. Electrician. I'm also a DJ, and I also do body work on cars.
Okay. All right. So we're just gonna go up to some of the ladies that ended up popping their balloon. We can get your name, how old you are, what you do, and why you popped your balloon.
I'm Sergio Nell. I'm 24 and I'm a medical specialist. And why? Okay. First, you're short and I'm a tall girl. I like 6 foot and up. 2, I don't do dreads. And then you're an electrician. I'm thinking about like businessman, doctor, lawyer, because I'm trying to like find a man who could provide for my kids and provide for me. You know what I'm saying? And you're from Alabama. I heard of things about Alabama. I'm from New York. So no, thank you.
What you hear about Alabama? I feel like Alabama,
I don't think you want to know.
Let us know. What have you heard?
You could probably marry your sister.
It's
a little. I've been there. It's a little weird over there. So no, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. She coming for your people.
I know. I can't even let her go like that.
Okay, and is she somebody that you would approach? Is she your type? Like anything you like, don't like?
No, I don't think I like her attitude. I don't like the attitude. I think you think you're a little up there. I mean,
no, I think you think I'm up there.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. So why would you assume that?
Well, I just feel like for you to just say that, talk down about Alabama, you don't know. I feel like, no, I definitely think you ought to do more research or whatever.
I did. That's my job, literally, to research. And I researched y'all, and I didn't like it.
Okay, well, no, I definitely wasn't talking to you, though. No.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So just the attitude.
Yeah, and she's not that cute either. So.
Oh, not cute either?
Okay.
All right, so
he thinks I'm cute. He thinks I'm cute. He can't admit it. You know I'm cute.
Nah, you're not ugly, but you're not cute either, though.
You know. You know I'm cute.
we'll just leave it at that, and let's go ahead and...
You guys saw the clip. First off, let me say, if you have to resort to a dating show in order to try to find love, you're undesirable anyway. Because there's no reason that you should have to go on a show and have people lined up for you, have people pre-picked for you, and you select from the people that's being picked. That's one of the reasons I turned down going on The Bachelor. I don't need people to pick who they think I may like and give me a limited selection. It's easier for me to just go out in the real world and actually approach women, talk to women, interact with women. I like my odds better than going on a dating show where the contestants are set up and I get to pick from the contestants. I think that's low quality in itself as a man or a woman if you have to resort to that. You're struggling pretty deeply in your love life and you might need to seek therapy rather than going on a dating show. But the attitude of that woman was so ignorant and so vile. Now, let's just address the elephant in the room. The reason they popped the balloons when he walked in was because physically he was unattractive. They found him physically unappeasing. But then for her to frown and scoff at the fact that he said he was an electrician, now that was unnecessary, because electricians make decent money. Some electricians can make upward of $75K a year if you in a good area and you around the right demographic of people. But still, it's an honest living, it's a steady income, it provides some security. Then it was her elitist attitude that got me. I'm a medical specialist. What the fuck is a medical specialist? That is such a vague career title. That could be anything from being a caregiver, a direct support professional, to a doctor. But if she was a doctor, she would say she's a doctor. A medical care specialist, man, that's a little sus. Just the way she interacted with him was just off-putting. This is yet again another classic example of why we can see that this demographic of women is the least married, highest divorce, least likely to be married, has the highest infidelity rates, and the highest levels of marriage instability. Because this snobby attitude, this all about me, egocentric, solipsistic attitude that they have when they've accomplished absolutely nothing relative to the rest of humanity, is what will irk most men who have to deal with them. As a guy, if you were initially interested in this woman when you saw her, before you heard her open her mouth to this guy and violate him in the way that she did, she would no longer be attractive, would she? I'm sure most of y'all feel that way. I honestly feel that way. And she's not a super unattractive woman, but the moment she opened her mouth, she became the worst possible potential long-term mate ever. Immediately put herself at the bottom of the hierarchy of all the women in that room without us even having to hear what the rest of the women had to say or what they had to offer, because all you heard coming from her was a migraine. A migraine and her thinking that she's better than what she is. She's put herself on a pedestal that she's not actually on in reality. Talking down to him, my man's make good money. I need a guy who can provide, take care of the kids. Well, that's what a steady income does. And he said he's not only an electrician, he said he also works on cars. He has multiple jobs. He has multiple streams of income. I'm pretty sure with him being an electrician and getting paid bi-weekly, if that's what he gets paid. I'm not an electrician, but I'm assuming they get paid bi-weekly like everybody else. But with him making about $25 to $40 an hour, I think that can set the foundation for a pretty stable household financially, especially if she's contributing as well and they combine incomes. There was absolutely no reason for this woman to act like this. But yet again, they show you how disrespectful and emasculating they can be as a group. And let's stop pretending that this isn't applicable to the average black woman, because this type of black woman seems to be a lot more pervasive than the soft, sweet-hearted ones that you almost never see or hear anything about. And if you do, they're married. And that's why they're married, because they're a lot more feminine and a lot more respectful and have a lot more class. I don't know, she kind of looked like Jess Hilarious to me. And I don't think Jess Hilarious is cute, but she looked like a slightly cuter version of Jess Hilarious, but just as aggressive, just as mean, just as disrespectful, just as emasculating as Jess Hilarious. Fucking insane for blue collar workers to get disrespected by women the way that they do, because these women want white collar workers. I think I want a businessman, or a lawyer or a doctor. Bitch, a lawyer or a doctor or a businessman, whatever that is, because that's a vague term too. Actually, as an electrician, if he owned his own electrician company, he's a businessman. But I don't think a doctor or a lawyer would settle for you with that attitude either. I'm almost certain that a doctor or a lawyer doesn't want a woman with the mouth that she has and the attitude that she permeates. See, this is what feminism has done. It has gave women this diluted level of superiority. They think because a man isn't afraid to get his hands dirty, as men shouldn't be, that's what makes a man, that he's somehow beneath them now because they sit in an office and answer phones and work under a man who tells them what to do, who isn't in the field getting his hands dirty. Men are men. What makes men men is the fact that men are willing to go to work. And no man wants to deal with a woman who can't even appreciate the fact that he makes an honest living. That would be extremely frustrating as a man, to come home to a woman who resents you because you don't have her career choice that she would have liked the man she wanted to be with to have. Don't no man need that bullshit in their life. We don't need that amount of negativity. If you can't appreciate what I have to offer, bitch, go. But yet again, they'll say that I'm making this up. We can't find more videos of black women acting like this than the opposite. Yet, I do it all the time. And I'm glad he humbled her and let her know that she wasn't that attractive. And I love his demeanor. I love the fact that he was able to laugh it off and keep a smile the whole entire time, despite the fact that she was violating him. That speaks to a lot of emotional maturity. He don't have to be the brightest guy, but I'm pretty sure that whatever woman he ends up with, he's going to do his best to take care of her. And he probably needs a woman who's going to be able to understand that, acknowledge that, and fully appreciate that for what he does. He seems like he's a pretty emotionally stable, innocent type dude who just wants to do well and enjoy his life. You know, I mean, I don't like the attitude. And I'm glad he told her he didn't like her attitude, because that's the reason I made this reaction to begin with. At the end of the day, anytime you ask a man who's dealing with a black woman what he dislikes, it's always going to be her attitude. But they don't seem to comprehend that. And they're not willing to change it. They'd rather bank on the fact that there's a man out there who can handle them, who can handle their difficulty. And they end up perishing alone, because it ain't too many men willing to put up with that, especially when you're average in attractiveness. You can't be an average looking woman and have a nasty attitude. It's a double negative. It's already difficult enough to deal with you, and I barely like looking at you. You gonna have an attitude on top of that? And it's worse than the way you look? And I'm supposed to stay with that? Hell no. Hell no. Nah. Shout out to the blue collar workers out there, man. Make sure y'all find women that appreciate y'all. Some of these women have lost their shit. They really off their marbles for real. And to the men out there who have to deal with women who act and think like this woman, you chose that woman. I have no sympathy for you, because these are the type of women that you're supposed to avoid. Same way he did. He stood on business. I like it. Wasn't phased, kept a smile on his face, was still all positive vibes. That's how you have to be as a man when a woman acts disrespectful to you. That's the hallmark of emotional maturity and stoicism. Being unfazed by a disrespectful and emasculating woman. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next dosage of Q Pill. I'm Suave Q, aka the Q Pill. Over and out.